All right, hey there boys and girls, welcome back. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this video. So now we're on the back side of the notes, and let's talk about how we can check our quotients, because we want to be able to check and make sure our answers are correct. So remember, in math, we can check our answers by using the inverse operation, which is the opposite operation. So to check the answer to a division problem, we will use multiplication. Oops. So we will use multiplication. We will multiply the quotient, or the answer that we get. We're going to multiply the quotient by the divisor, by the number that we divided by. So if we get back to the original dividend, then we know we did it correctly. Yippee. And remember, we know how to multiply decimals. So our answers are going to be decimals, and that's okay. We know how to multiply decimals. We've already learned that. So remember, when we multiply decimals, we count up the total decimal places between the two factors, and our product or answer will have the same number of decimal places. So let's go ahead and do a couple together where we solve and then check our work. So we've got 76 and 2/100 divided by 5. We're going to use long division like we normally do, and we'll bring that decimal straight up into our answer. 5 goes into 7 once, 2 left over, bring down the 6. 5 goes into 26 5 times, subtract 25, bring down the 0. 5 goes into 10 twice, subtract 10, I get 0, bring down that 2. 5 goes into 2 0 times, and I'm going to go ahead. I have this remainder, which means I need to add zeros and keep dividing until I no longer have a remainder. 5 goes into 20 4 times. Minus 20. Now I have 0, so now I'm done. Except now I need to bring my decimal straight up, so be very careful and make sure it goes straight up into your answer. So it goes, our answer is 15 and 204 thousandths. So to check my work, I'm going to go ahead and take my quotient, my answer, and I'm going to multiply it by the divisor. If I get back to my dividend, I know I'm correct. So we're going to do 15 and 204 thousandths, and I'm going to multiply that by 5. And let's see if I get back to my original. Let's count our decimal places. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 76 and 2/100 or 20 thousandths. I'm back to where I started, so I know I'm correct. Let's do another problem where we have a 2-digit divisor, which is a little bit more difficult, but nothing changes. Our rules do not change. We're still just going to use long division. It's just a little tougher for our brain to figure out how many times 12 goes into numbers versus, 1-digit divisors. So we have 549 and 6/10. I'm dividing that by 12. Again, I need you to use 0 placeholder. So 12, how many times does 12 go into 5? 12 goes into 5 0 whole times. So I'm going to put a 0 over that. And now I'm looking at how many times does 12 go into 54. Well, let's see. 12 times 4 gives us 48, and that's pretty close. If I add 12 to that, I'm at 60, so that would be too much. So I know 4 times is what I'm looking for. Minus 48. That difference is 6. Bring down the 9. Okay, 12 times 5 gives us 60, and that's pretty close to 69. I cannot fit in another set of 12, so that goes in 5 times. I subtract 60. I have 9 left over. Bring down the 6. How many times does 12 go into 96? Let's maybe try 9 times. 8, carry the 1. Oh, 108, that's too much, so let's try 8 times. So let's go ahead and try 12 times 8, 6, carry the 1, 96, perfect, just what I'm looking for. So that goes in 8 times, I subtract 96. Ooh, I have 0 remainder, so I'm done. Oh, I just need to bring my decimal straight up into my answer. Oh, sorry about that. I kind of cut off how I got that 96. 12 times 8 is 96. So let's go ahead and check our answers. Let's check our work. So over here, I'm going to check my work. We're going to take our quotient, or our answer, 45 and 8/10, and I'm going to multiply that by 12. Now remember, I'm going to multiply normally. I'm going to ignore the decimal until the end. So 2 times 8 is 16. That's 11. That's going to be 8 plus 1 is 9. Now remember, as I move over to this 1, I need a 0 placeholder. Our 2-digit multiplication does not change. We still need that 0 placeholder. 8, 5, 4. I add these together. 6, 9. Okay, last step is to see how many decimal places I have. I have 1 decimal place, 1 decimal place, 549 and 6/10, 549 and 6/10. I'm back to where I started, which means I did it correctly. So this is the beauty of math, is that for most math problems, especially computations where you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, you can check your work.